just
All
restate
right.
everything you
Yeah,
just
okay.
said.
Okay. The workers' compensation system in the state of Oregon is all about laws and bureaucratic rules. And any benefits that you're going to get are defined by those laws and those rules. So if your claim gets denied or your benefits stop, in order to figure out why it happened and if there's anything you can do about it, you have to go through each specific law, each specific rule, and there are hundreds of them, to try to figure out what they did and why, and if there's something that you can do about it. All right.
What should I do if my compensation isn't correct, or
Yeah.
or if I'm receiving monthly payments, but I prefer to receive a lump sum?
Okay. In workers' compensation claims, benefits are mostly or substantially going to be medical bills, and the benefits that go to the injured person are either a wage loss replacement, and if they've calculated that incorrectly, then you can bring it to their attention, or you can, you got to get it corrected by, again, going through all the rules and the regulations about how to do that. If you have some kind of award that they made for rating you for some kind of permanent disability, you can get them to give that to you in a lump sum. And you do that by filing a form, forms that says, I don't want to contest this amount, I want it all paid out in a lump sum. You can do that. Well, a sworn statement is basically the same thing as testifying under oath. And if you say something in a sworn statement that can be proven to be untrue, then you have this possibility of perjury or some other legal consequence. So I'd be real worried about sworn statements, but see, the law says that the injured person has to cooperate with the insurance company. And so they don't take sworn statements very often, but they always want to take recorded statements, and the person has to do that. And the advice I'd give anybody that's going to give a sworn statement or just a recorded statement is be really careful that you know that what you're saying is accurate. Because, I don't know what I did yesterday for lunch, dinner, memories are hard to put in stone, and once that thing gets put in stone, which is a transcript or a statement that you're saying, oh, I'm swearing about this, then you're on the hook if it turns out it's not right. So it pays to really be careful about what you say when they're recording what you're saying or when you're swearing to what you're saying.
Insurance company wants me to see their doctor.
Yeah.
I have to see their doctor.
Yeah. Well, if an insurance company says you have to go to Dr. Hoo-ha to be treated, that may not be correct, and they usually won't do that. But the law, okay, and in my opinion, the law comes out of the legislature, which is bought and paid for on both sides of the aisle by the insurance and big business interests in this state. And they have had an Oregon success story by minimizing people's benefits so they can keep paying the medical bills and cutting coverage all the time. But I don't think that they can force you to go to their doctor unless they're in MCOs and other there are ways that they can drive you to their doctors. But the basic rule is you can choose your own physician for treatment. What the question is, if they want to send you to one of their doctors to examine you to decide whether it is or it isn't or what it is, you have to go to those. And they can send you to Portland, they can send you wherever they want, they have to pay you to travel and so forth, but they can pick their doctors, and they have lots of them, and you have to go. So, in a nutshell, they have the injured person in this state in a place where you don't have many options about what you can and can't do.
Something along those lines.
Yeah. Well, if you file a workers' compensation claim, then the insurance company, once they get the information or they have the notice of the claim, they have 60 days to either say, okay, we'll agree that this is something that happened on the job, or no, we won't. And if they agree that it's something that happened on the job, they have to send you a letter that says we're accepting something, and it has to be a medical condition. And that's where the whole game gets played, because what they accept frequently for, on a back injury is a strain. And if it's more than a strain, then it's up to you to ask them to accept whatever else it might be. And the reason they like to accept strains is because there are a lot of doctors that will say, oh, a strain should go away in a few weeks. And there's medical justification for that. So, but if they're going to say that it isn't whatever you think you did isn't covered by the workers' comp system in Oregon, they have to send you a letter that says we deny this, and if you want to fight about it, you got to ask for a hearing and all that stuff. So they have usually 60 days to deal with whatever it is that you confront them with.
My claim, how long from start to finish do these things typically take?
Well, I mean, how long do they take depends on what kind of an injury it is, and the whole magic word in that area is medically stationary. In other words, when is it that your strain or your broken arm or whatever it is, when does it become so that it's not getting any better and it's not getting any worse? It's flatlined. It's medically stationary. And the guy who makes that call is your attending physician, which is why it's a nice thing to have an attending physician that's kind of on your side on this stuff. When they send people to their doctors are real quick to say, oh, the strain has gone away, and if you have any problems now, it's from your arthritis or from, a space machine landed and little guys came out and ran around and it's making you hurt. I mean, I'm being silly, but it's almost that difficult because their doctors will basically say it's over, it's gone. See? And the law lets them do that. They've got the law very, very crafted to where it suits their side of the fence.